Hey guys, Video Slack here. Now, just before we talk about today's topic, which is about why video games are coming out in half-assed, basically, I wanted to talk about this just real quick about a comment that was recently put down a couple days ago, or rather, should I say a couple? One of them I actually deleted, but here we go. First one states, "You are not happy. You smile when you are not happy. You smile in the start of every video. Man, listen to me. Your smile." It's just the way the guy's typing. It's not very natural, and it's all capitalized like he's mad at me for smiling at every video. And so I sent a reply to him. I said, "Sorry to hear that you don't like my smiling, but I'm going to keep on doing it." And I also stated, "You don't have to be happy to smile. You know this, right?" By the way, sorry about my voice. Yeah, I was gonna also make a video last week, but I was too sick to even do it. I got sick again. Jesus. Anyway, and then he just replies back, "Dude." And I'm just kind of thinking, like, man, is this like a kid or something, like some 10-year-old or something? You know, who just answers back, "Dude," like that after trying to state shit like, "Oh, you weren't really happy in your videos." And I'm just kind of like, okay. And so I stayed back to him after he said, "Dude." I said, "I tend to always smile like this because I'm a jokey person. Besides, people use fake smiles all the time, but pointing it out in the way you're doing it only creates an awkwardness that isn't necessary. I might not always be happy, but my smile is authentic. Nice try." So I am sorry if any of you guys have any issues with me smiling in every single one of my videos, which is kind of an ongoing joke at this point, by the way, if you haven't actually noticed. I mean, if you look through every single one of my videos, there's like a smile on just about every one of my videos that I've made on my channel. Every single one of them. And it's kind of funny to look at. Excuse me. But moving on from that, sorry if there's any more coughing throughout the video. And that I'm still going through a bit of the allergies. Anyway, so why aren't video games being finished like people want them to be? Well, here's the thing. That's just not how video games are developed nowadays. In fact, here's another comment here I almost forgot to talk about actually. Here. So I'll just bring it up right now. It might be an age issue too. But as I'm getting older, I play them less, and it does feel good to step away for a bit. I used to be a big PlayStation fan, but haven't played PS4 in over a year. Playing for PS Plus and how games never go and sit on sale compared to how often Steam and good old games have sales. There's just no reason to play console, especially PlayStation, because now Microsoft owns like every major game publisher. PlayStation is so screwed. The Cyberpunk people deserve criticism because they knew the game was in a shitty state and they released it during holiday prime time release window. It was as malicious as possible. I said, yeah, that's just how video games business are run nowadays. And you get used, God damn it, it just turned off on me. You get used to playing them, then get tired of or bored of with it over time. It's not only age, it's just experience and growing up with it. Now, I mean, the thing is, like he was just talking about, over time, he's just been playing these games less and less. And just like in that video that he commented on, I was talking about the reasons why I stopped talking to the video game, I would say, industry, not just only the industry, but like the people that play them as well, just the video game groups and the people always bitching. It's almost like every time I'm talking to somebody online on PSN or even on PC sometimes, it's like the games will come out and it's like nobody is ever satisfied with the game when it comes out. And it just ruins my fun every single time I'm playing this game. And I'm actually enjoying the game, but then I'll go over to the other guys that are playing the game and they're like, "Oh no, this game's shit," and everything. And then they're still sitting there playing the game. And I'm just like, well, I mean, if you guys think that the game is shit, then why are you even playing the game? You know? If you really don't like the game that much, just give your money back. It's like, no, I just want to bitch about it. It's like, okay. And then I just kind of move on from there. But here's the thing. This isn't exactly a new thing. And I think it's because of the newer generation that, when games like Cyberpunk came out, and also there was No Man's Sky, and there was also Fallout 4. I mean, that's just a few games to name that have kind of more recently come out with this newer generation and generations that are coming up now. And in next generation of console, I'm just gonna hear the same bullshit from the newer kids that are playing video games nowadays, from the new generation of kids, because they don't know this yet. And so I'm just gonna hear more and more bitching, and also from the grown-ups that aren't learning about video game development, etc. Now, it's not like I know everything about video game development, but I over time I have learned some things, and things that I also used to bitch about growing up as well. And then later on learned that that's just how video game development is. And just like how movies are made, it's actually sometimes very complicated to make mainstream movies, and it's also very complicated actually to make a mainstream video game. In fact, it's probably even harder. It's probably, as far as mainstream media goes, it's possibly the hardest art form to make out of any, I would say, mainstream art form there is, possibly. It's a very complicated thing to make. And one of the reasons why is because of the reason why I'm talking about in this video, is because if they don't come out with a game fast enough, they don't get paid as much. Especially if they don't come out with it at a certain time of the year, like let's say the holiday season. And if you've seen the numbers and how much more money these people get if they come out with the game on, the holiday season, it is just insane. They get nearly 2 to 3 times more money just because they come out with the game on a holiday season month, just because they came out with it in fourth quarter of the year. They get nearly 2 to 3 times more the money just for doing that. And this is the reason why they do that. Now, from a business standpoint, if I was running a business, money counts when you're running a business. If I was running a business, I hate to say it, but I probably would have done exactly the same thing. From a business standpoint and money standpoint, that's just how it is. And it's not going to change until that changes. They're going to keep on doing it until making money that way just doesn't work anymore. And that's just how business is. If you want to follow the reasons why, a company makes its decisions, follow the money. That's all I have to tell you guys on that regard. And of course, I'm not going to say I'm criticizing the gamers. I'm not criticizing the gamers. But what I do think is so bullshit sometimes is that they think that they are entitled to all of this stuff that they're getting. And, in my town here, there's a lot of druggies here in my town that are gamers and such, and they don't really work much. And then they just act like they're entitled. And I just think it's so ridiculous. All these druggies out here, all these meth dealers and druggies out here, they think that they are entitled to all the shit that they are given. And it is just insane. It's just ridiculous. They're literally just living off of the system. And then when I hear about bullshit like this, that is the kind of person that I'm thinking of when I hear about this kind of entitled bullshit. And again, if they do not come out with games fast enough and they don't develop these games fast enough and come out with them at a certain time of year, they are not getting their money back. Now, also making a video game is an investment. Every time they come out with a video game for free, let's say at one point they came out with Destiny for free on PSN, that is what they call an investment. That's not just them, oh, we're just trying to do something good because we care about you guys. No, that is what they call an investment. You see, they came out with that game for free so that when their DLC came out, of course, just right at the same time that the game came out for free, right? They came out with that game for free for 1 month for download so that when you downloaded that game, you would want to download the new DLC that came out. This is what they call an investment. This isn't just we're doing this out of the goodness of our hearts and because you guys deserve it. It's what they call an investment. And that is how video game developments and businesses work. And again, it is going to continue to work this way until things change, until that's not how people make money anymore. And until it gets to a point where, we at least have more free time to just make these games and actually finish them before coming out with them and actually be able to make revenue despite the fact, then maybe we'll see, more games being finished like they're supposed to and not have to be updated as soon as they come out, like it did with Cyberpunk 2077 and some of the other games, like even Elder Scrolls 6. But again, until it gets to that point, it's just not gonna fucking happen. And that's just not how business on video games works nowadays. And they've actually been doing this since I was a teenager. They will just come out with games unfinished and then they will just update it after it comes out. Just plain and simple. But you've also got to realize no matter how much testing they do on certain games like this, especially RPG games like Cyberpunk 2077 and Elder Scrolls, there's never enough testing. They can never have enough testers to test the game before it actually comes out. And if they take out any content in the game, that will easily fuck up the game even more. And before you know it, when you come out with the game early because of that, then the game is just a jumbled mess, and now you have a ton of bugs to fix because you just took content out of the game, which is, of course, another thing that Cyberpunk, the makers of that game, did. They actually took some of the content out, and what that did is that it also created a bunch of bugs that they could not fix before it came out. And again, that's just how video game development works. And I actually do know people that make video games, by the way. And this is why how I know this stuff. It's making video games is actually a lot more complicated than you think. And how many times they've said that they've tested a game before, but then every time somebody else has actually played the game, almost every time they play it, they see a ton of bugs in the game that they've just fixed. Then now they've got all these other bugs that they need to fix, and so on and so forth. And so, again, there's always got to, for games that are this big with this kind of content, there's never going to be enough testers before it comes out. And then so eventually you're just forced to, in order to make enough money off the game, you just have to come out with it. And so basically the players become the testers, essentially. And that's just what happens. I mean, I wish video game development was different from this, but it just isn't. And it is just a mess. I actually am glad that I don't work on mainstream video games because of reasons like this. Like, it just really does sounds like a big ridiculous fucking mess, and I would probably quit if I ever worked for a mainstream game. And with that being said, I'll end this video. So we're 15 minutes now, and I hope you guys weren't too bored with this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.